Well, hello and welcome. I'm Peggy, and I hope you can stay with us for the next half hour because we have a lot to share with you. And of course, we always have phone numbers and websites so you can follow through. But today we're going to talk about Operation Christmas Child. And I'm sure you've heard about it, but I'm finding out so much. I heard about it, but I really didn't know. And we're going to find out right now. This is an exciting thing that is going on worldwide, and we're a part of it. And I'm so pleased to have two people here with me, smiling. You really are excited about this. And Cathy Huffman is here. Now, Cathy is the upstate area coordinator.
That's right.
For this wonderful Operation Christmas Child. And next to her is Peyton de Mortier, right?
Yes.
Did I have it right?
You
okay.
did.
And she is part of the Student Relations
That's
program.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And this is Franklin Graham started this, Billy Graham's son started this.
Yes, it was actually started by another man in Wales in 1993, but Franklin Graham took it over very soon after that, and I think they started out with about 23,000 shoe boxes the first year, and this past year we had over 11 million.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And this is now it's grown into a worldwide
Absolutely,
program.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We deliver shoe boxes to over 100 countries every year, and there are about 13 countries that collect shoe boxes like we do to distribute. So over 100 countries, and they receive the gospel booklet in their own language along with the shoebox.
You know, this is amazing, and we're going to find out what's in these shoe boxes in a minute. But so, if you get involved, you're not asked to go to a lot of meetings or commit a lot of funds. You get a shoe box, and it's something you can do with your kids. And now that we're thinking about, I know it's early, but people start thinking about the Christmas season.
That's right.
And this is something, you can do it beginning now and have it, let your children get involved.
Yes, we actually ask people to start in January, setting aside a shoebox, and when you see sales going on, you can buy things that go in your shoebox. And if you did a shoebox every month, you'd have 10 or 12 ready for collection week in November, and it wouldn't even be difficult because a shoebox should cost less than $20.
Okay, now, all right, now you have kind of, Cathy, you've got fancy shoe boxes.
I do.
let's you know, but you can just take a plain old shoe box that they give you when you buy a pair of shoes.
That's right. That's right. You can take a plain shoebox, you can paint it, you could put stickers on it, you could cover it with wrapping paper, you could get the plastic shoe boxes that you get at the dollar store and use that. And this one happens to be one that they used to call them photo boxes, and it's very sturdy, so the box is a gift in itself because that box is going to have lasting uses.
And we take so much for granted in this country. And there are children that probably have never had a gift in their whole life, right?
That's right. They haven't. They have never had a gift and never seen a toy. In some cases, they've never seen a store-bought toy. And so this is a great opportunity to show the love of Christ and deliver the gospel and give a child a joyful time and a time of hope.
So now you can, what is it that people can do? They're sitting out there like I am. I heard about it, but I didn't know all these things that you've been telling me. Mm-hmm. What is it that people can do to get involved? You don't have to join an organization. Mm-mm. You don't have to attend meetings. It's just something you could do on your own or with your children.
That's right. You can get your family together and go to the store and buy some items, and Peyton and I will show you some items that you might want to put in your shoebox.
Okay, now you got kind of fancy shoe boxes here, Cathy. Come on, these are nice.
Yeah.
But you can use just a plain old shoe box if you wanted to, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Use just the one that you bought your last pair of shoes in and fill that up with items for a child. from 2 to 4, ages 2 to 4, 5 to 9, or 10 to 14.
All right, could you show this box and show kind of what you have in it?
Yes,
so people get an idea?
We'll let Peyton show this particular shoe box. Tell them about those kinds of
now,
shoe boxes.
Now, you bought these shoe boxes you bought.
Yeah.
These shoe boxes are what they call the Go boxes, and you can get these they're about 36 cents a piece, or you can get 100 for what I can't remember, $36,
yeah.
right? So these are really cheap to get, and you can share.
So those
with
shoe
everybody.
boxes you say cost about
36 cents.
36 cents a piece
Yes,
for that,
ma'am.
and it's a pretty sturdy box.
It is. They're really nice because you can just put them together yourself, and you just fill them with the same things as you'd put in that old shoe box that you bought your last pair of shoes in. So.
Okay. Now, what do you have in there?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of things you can put in a box that you actually wouldn't expect, and one of my favorite items to put in a shoe box is a roll of duct tape. Because what you don't realize is that a lot of people in third world countries could hold their houses together with a roll of duct tape, and there's a lot of different things they use it for as well. And also, another great thing to put in a shoebox is a pair of gloves. They cost about 10 cents each, especially if you find them on a sale. And
these are children's gloves.
Children's gloves.
Yeah.
And it can often get very cold in these different countries, and like more than you would expect. So giving them a pair of gloves gives them something to keep their hands warm. And you can also put a pair of socks in there, which, you know, get a package of socks and split them between your shoe boxes too. And another great thing is erasers and pencils, as well as paper, because some schools share paper and erasers between themselves, so it's a great opportunity for the kid to have that that tool for school themselves. So that's another great thing to put in the shoe box.
What else do you have in there? Anything else you want to share?
Oh, let's see. Oh, definitely one of my favorite things to put in a shoe box is some kind of stuffed animal. Like this one was $1 from like the Dollar Tree or something like that. And it's a great, kids of all ages love stuffed animals. You wouldn't expect the boys to love stuffed animals, but they actually do. That's like their favorite thing in the shoebox. So definitely put a stuffed animal in there. That's like one of the main things I would definitely tell you to put in a box.
But you could put a pair of children's gloves or a pair of socks. Anything like that would be useful, right?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
And of course, you have a really nice box, but you can get a regular shoebox, and what would you do? Cover it with paper, make it look a little pretty?
You could wrap it, although that's a little more fragile, but what I've done in the past is painted the shoebox. You can just get, finger paints, and that's another great way to do it with the family, is to get the kids involved and just have like a painting party where you paint the boxes and then you let them dry overnight, because that lets the kids kind of become more involved too, and it's more personally decorated and everything. And so we've painted them, we've drawn on them and stuff like that. So.
Now, are you given a list of things that are appropriate? I mean, and somebody has to check to be sure that there's something in there that maybe could be harmful, right?
Yes. So all the shoe boxes eventually end up in a processing center. So there's a processing center in Charlotte and one in Atlanta, as well as others throughout the country. And volunteers will go during the 2 or 3 weeks after Thanksgiving, and they will process these shoe boxes. So they'll go through the shoe box and look and see that everything in there is appropriate before it gets sent overseas. Yeah. So yes, Samaritan's Purse and Operation Christmas Child particularly is all volunteer. I mean, there are so few paid employees in Samaritan's Purse compared to the outreach that they actually have. You would be so surprised. Our whole team is a volunteer team, and inside each country, to receive the shoe boxes, there's a volunteer team inside each country. And so the money that is being spent is very wisely spent because all volunteers. I mean, for the Carolinas, I think there's a group of about 10 people who are actually paid employees. Otherwise, it's all volunteers. There are hundreds of volunteers in the Carolinas.
So now you would take, of course, these are pretty hefty boxes. Mm-hmm. They're nice.
This is a good one. I like to do these photo boxes myself. But we also do shoe boxes, regular shoe boxes like you're talking about, and have the kids come over and paint them, because that's kind of my thing. Is
So
to
you
have
can
the
make
kids
like a
paint them.
project
Yes.
with your grandchildren or your
Yes.
children, and it has a purpose.
Yes.
And now I have to look and see what's in here. Here is, look at this, a plain old bar of, I guess it's ivory soap.
Yes.
And a washcloth.
Yes, so I bring this one when I talk to people about Operation Christmas Child, because I heard a boy once tell the story of being in an orphanage. He was one of 20 boys in his group in the orphanage in Romania. And the 20 boys shared a toothbrush and a washcloth. And so when these boys got their shoe boxes, many of them had their
For the
own
first time,
soap
a bar of
and-
soap and a washcloth.
and a
Think about
washcloth that they used, that this boy said, I had my own towel for the first time in my life. And it meant so much to him, just that little washcloth, and to have a toothbrush of his own that he'd never had before. So something as small as this, at Walmart, you can get washcloths, you can get 18 for less than $4. So that's 18 shoe boxes. A washcloth and 18 shoe boxes. So you've got your start on 18 shoe boxes if you spend less than $4 at Walmart and get those washcloths.
And this is something you could do as a Sunday school class
Yes.
or a neighborhood group.
Yes.
And make a
A
fun
scout
project
group,
out
yeah,
of it.
a scout group. We have the FCAs at schools. What is that? It's an athletic association,
Oh,
a Christian
okay.
athletic association. I'm
Okay.
sorry, it just flew out of my mind. But so any kind of group can get together and do shoe boxes. And we are always looking for opportunities to speak at churches or school groups or any place that someone will have us, and we can let you know exactly the kinds of items to put in the shoe boxes and where to take them once they're finished.
That was my other question. If people have, now these are really nice. They're heavy boxes, and obviously you've bought these.
Yes.
But you don't have to even do
No.
that. But if you have a box, then you have to know what is appropriate.
Yes.
And are people given a list of things that would be okay, or what? What all do you, let's see, what do you have in here?
Well, I have some shoes. Now, these
So
shoes
you have
were...
imagination with what you put in your box.
These were 98 cents, but I also know that children in other countries will flatten out water bottles and use ropes and tie those on the bottom of their feet for shoes. And so a pair of flip-flops that cost 98 cents is a great thing for some kids to get this.
Okay, so now you have the flip-flops and the washcloth and
Yeah.
a bar of ivory soap.
And we've got Peyton
Wait a
stuff
minute,
over
let me-
here. We've got
this is
duct tape.
fascinating. What? Oh, oh, look at this.
Yeah, the stuffed toy is one of the most important things that you can put in the shoebox, because these kids have never had something like
Think
that.
about
Most
that.
of them have never had, how many times when you were a little kid did you lay in bed and hug your stuffed
Yeah.
toy and cry because of whatever thing happened to you that day, and they have never had that. So this is so important for them, this stuffed toy.
Okay, and may I delve in here and
Absolutely,
see?
you go right
Oh,
ahead.
look at this. Oh,
They love sunglasses.
a pair of, those are fancy.
Aren't they cute? Yeah, I love those, yes. The kids love the sunglasses. So whenever you get an opportunity to find a nice pair of sunglasses, those cost me $1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything in this shoebox is, you've not spent $20.
No.
Probably not even $15. I'm just
Probably
peeking
not,
around in here and
yes,
see.
absolutely.
I'm having more fun with this. What is this? A little notebook.
A little notebook, and kids in other countries can't go to school unless they have their own school supplies. And so when you provide some school supplies like the notebook,
What about
the
some
eraser,
crayons?
What?
I have crayons in here. You can get these, especially during school times.
Yeah.
Like back to school, they have all the stuff out for really cheap, like $1 or something
Well,
like that as
I think
well.
those are
Well,
25
I'm
cents.
having more
25
fun looking.
cents.
Here's a comb. Just a little comb that a child would use.
That's right, and those combs, I got on Overstock.com for about $7 for 144.
You did well. She's a good shopper.
So we can, that's something else that we can tell people when we go and speak.
What's all
Those
this?
are my business
Oh, those
cards.
are your
Yeah.
cards. Okay. And what about, what is this? Does
That's
that
a
belong in there?
calculator. It's a solar calculator, and so there's no batteries needed. And the older kids, when you make a shoebox for an older child, that's something that they can really use in school. A solar calculator, you don't even have to worry about the batteries.
Okay.
And you might not think about that, but those are safety pins.
Oh my goodness. 100 safety pins. Now, who in the world would need 100 safety pins?
Well, if you didn't have a safety pin, you might find a need for one, wouldn't you? Just think, because you know you have them at your house, and so you don't even think about it. And if you needed one, you know right where to go to get it. But other people don't have things just as simple as that, as
That's
safety
hard. You know,
pins.
we're so spoiled in this country. We have so many blessings, and I think we take so much for granted. And we have to wait a minute. I don't want to miss anything.
Well,
what
I think
else
that's
is there? Anything
that's
else?
the bottom.
Oh,
but
oh,
there's the
here's
eraser.
an eraser.
Oops. That's the pink eraser that if it goes in the shoebox, they can erase their paper and reuse it. And you think about how much paper you have in your wastebasket at home.
Yes.
But these kids don't have any. And so they erase the paper and reuse the paper.
Okay, and what is this?
That's,
looks like a pot holder.
It is a pot holder. And one...
now, who would think that a child would want a pot holder?
Who would have thought that? And somebody listened to the Holy Spirit when they were out shopping and put a pot holder in their shoebox. And when that shoebox got delivered, the little boy who got the shoebox, that was his favorite item in the shoebox. And the people who passed out the shoeboxes found out that he lived in one of those houses, like Peyton mentioned, where they're held together with duct tape. And they cook over a fire outside, and it was his job and the family to take the pot off the fire.
Oh, so
And he loved having just a
to
simple
protect his hands.
pot holder. Yes.
That's amazing. See, we just don't think in this country that there are people, we have so much, and even the very least has more than the
That's
people.
right.
And we have to go to a break, but where are these people that get these boxes?
Well, they can be in big cities, or they can be way out in the country where they hardly ever see strangers. One place they had an evangelist who went from village to village, and they had to take the shoe boxes in on a helicopter because it was the only way to get back there. And the evangelist was so happy about having that opening into the community, into this small village. These children had never had a purchased toy, had never seen like a store-bought kind of toy. And this evangelist had an opening through the shoe boxes to be able to bring the gospel into the village.
It's amazing, and I think it's time that we pull back. We have so much that we take for granted, and think about what she's telling us, a little child that's never had a gift. We'll be right back.